Hello, welcome back to 3D Drawing for Model Railway. We're going to continue working on this jib cradle here today, so we're working on the upper part here. If we jump into Fusion, we can see that we've got a nice drawing here on the side we can use. And if we look at the photographs, we've got some pretty decent ones which shows the profile. It looks like there's a square plate on the bottom that we can build up from. And then we'll see where that takes us. So if we go into Fusion initially, I'm going to turn this canvas off and I'm going to create an offset plane from the top surface of that cradle. And I'm just going to come up by 0.2 millimeters. Let's delete all that lot. Start again. 0.2 millimeters. Okay, and it will be creating a new body on here. So we will have to start to think about labelling these up, I think, in a little bit, because there'll be quite a few of them here. So we're going to create a sketch on this top surface, and we're just going to create a rectangle that's the same size as what we've originally got here. So just do a rectangle like that, and then we can coincidence the corners in here like this. Okay, and then we extrude upwards. I'm going to go 0.2 millimeters just to give us that base plate that we've got there. So the next thing I want to draw are these two upright plates here, which look like they're in the same position as these diagonal plates we drew on the last episode. So if we rotate to the top, we can draw a sketch on that top surface, and we're going to just do two rectangles for this. And I'm not worried about the size at the moment. All I'm going to do is then coincidence them in line. Coincidence the corner points here in line with those uprights, and that will snap the dimensions there. And do the same on this side. There you go. So we've now got those two profiles that we can use to extrude upwards. Let's turn the canvas on, see if we've got those. Yes, we have. Okay, so I'm going to I've started to drag them up both at the same time, but you will notice that one's higher than the other. So we can do that to that point. Select that top profile on this one, and we can drag that the rest of the way. Okay, so we're around 1.4 there. Okay, so we've got those drawn. The next thing is we're going to want to draw this plate here. So if we look at the photo here, this plate looks like it's in line with these plates that we drew down the bottom. So if we come back into Fusion, what we can do is find the construction planes that we had for these. Just flick through these to find a plane that looks the right one. Might be that one. Let's turn sideways. Yes. So we're now going to turn that back on with a little eye icon so we can see it, and create a sketch on that plane. I'm not sure if that works. I'm going to finish that sketch. Plane 6, let's delete that. Or redefine sketch plane will work. And select plane 6, we know we've got the right plane there. Okay, so we just go back into here, edit the sketch here, draw lines here for this one. So it's not going to snap into the corners as we want, so just draw a line, coincidence it into the two corner points, like so. And then we'll draw a line coming upwards. Again, it's not going to snap to that point, so coincidence like that, and then the same on the other side. so the next thing we're going to draw a free handle on here, so that's going to be a line to there and a line. I'm going to draw a line there, and I'm not worrying about its position because I'm going to fillet that corner out. Okay, so you see how we cut that in. Next thing we can do is fillet. So what we actually need to do is trim these two corners off so we can get a point, and then we can fillet that point like that. We just play around with that till it looks like it matches the drawing. So yeah, probably about 0.5, 0.55 there. And enter. Okay, and then we need to define these so that it's all going to be predefined. Angles in there. Okay, that's all now predefined, and then we can extrude this. If you remember on the last time we did on this plane, we did a symmetrical extrusion, and I think we did 0.25 in each direction. We'll click on OK, and then we can check. We can check that by just doing inspect and going from there to there. That's not even picking up the right thing. Let's rotate it up slightly. There we go. You can see that is 0.25. Okay, so we've now got in here that profile that we wanted. The only thing that I will notice on that, or have noticed on that picture, is this end is also extruded out further. So if we try and see how much of it actually comes forwards, I think it might just be the plate here and this side of the plate. Yeah, pretty much. So if we come on to the side profile and draw on that side profile just a simple line coming down here, and then that turns these into two separate profiles. We can extrude this one. See, let's have a look on our canvases. It's not on there, unfortunately. So we'll just come at 0.5 millimeter forwards. Make sure it joins. There we go. Okay, let's have a look on the canvas. Actually, is there a cutout on there? No, it's not. So the profile of the cutout's not on the canvas. And what I mean by that is, if you look here, we've got like a diagonal piece coming down, which is fine. So we'll just freehand that. So it looks like it comes, there's about a foot or so gap between the two bits in the middle here. So if we create a sketch on this side profile, initially we'll draw a line, that's a rectangle, draw a line downwards, and we'll see if we can get it to vertically constrain to that point there. Yep, good. Okay, let's have a look at the height. So it's only about 4 or 5 inches maybe. So if we draw a line, we're going to start on this profile here. Something like that. A millimetre there, so we're going to have that foot gap in the middle there. Define the angle in here. It's about 20 degrees. Let's have a look. Yeah, and then I'm going to fill it off that corner just to round it out a little bit. like that. So let's see if we've got any other photos that show it. Yeah, no, I'm reasonably happy with that profile that we've got there. In fact, I'm not talking, because there should be another I-beam up here. Let's undo all that. Sketch. Okay, let's turn sideways, see if that I-beam's on this sketch. Yes, it is. Okay, so if we create a drawing on that plane there, and we'll do a rectangle, I reckon it's going to be about that position. Define that, not 3mm thick, and height-wise 1mm. We extrude this to the same level as that. Okay, yeah, the height-wise looks okay. I might make that a little bit thinner though. Come into the sketch, edit it. I'm just going to take that down to 0.2mm. It's pretty difficult to see what's going on the inside of this, but we will have a recess in there for our bolt that's going to come through here. So we have to draw the same I-beam on the other side. Let's sketch on the profile there. Extrude that out to that profile. Okay, now we want to draw that profile in here. Okay, so the line coming down. Horizontally constrain it to there. And then from here we're going to come at an angle in line like that, and then up. Find that distance there we said was 1mm, and the angle we said we wanted 20 degrees, and then fill it off this corner. So I've done 1mm fillet there. Okay, now if I extrude this profile in this direction, it'll cut out both sides except for the top half, which isn't a big issue because you can just rotate it around and then extrude upwards to get rid of that. Okay, so we've got a profile there. I now need this circle profile cut into that. Okay, so if we draw a sketch on that top surface here, and we do the circle, find the midpoint. I think we said 1.6mm on that last one, and then just extrude. Downwards. That's not Okay, let's go a different way about this. Let's get rid of that drawing I've just done there. As it turned upside down. Okay, so I've got rid of that drawing but kept the sketch. I'm going to create. I'm going to go project. I'm going to look for that geometry there. And you can see it projects it onto that top surface, and then I can just extrude that down, cutting all the way through. Okay, so that's our centre boss. There's plenty of room here where we can get the head of a bolt or something like that to glue in. Okay, and you'd need to put that in before you did obviously putting the jib on the top there. Okay, so I think the last thing we really got to draw on is this supporting plate here and the rivets on it. So we come back into Fusion. If you look on the sketch, you can see it's there on the canvas. So if we create a sketch on that plane there, we should just be able to draw a line across and then extrude this forward slightly. Let's go 0.2 millimeters. Give it a bit of a too much. Just joined in here. I thought this was further forwards than that. Let's undo that. Let's bring this forward slightly. And then we'll extrude that. 0.2 millimeters so it doesn't snap in. There's a definite recess there. Okay, and then we'll just draw the rivets on. So that's probably drawn the wrong thing, wrong profile, so we'll delete that sketch and just draw it again. Like that. So we'll start with this bottom corner because that's going to give us the most that we can pattern. Horizontally first, features, that one and that one. Horizontally, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll pattern the same features. The reason I've not done them 5 crossing the 3 up at the same time is because obviously they try and put these all over the hip as well, so it's easy just to do that as separate ones. Vertically there's 3 of them. Okay, and then we have 1 over here. So what you can do then is just that's not where we have to create another sketch, and I'll just draw these three hand. My normal typing, 1.3 there. Same with the last one here. So let's just check that pattern matches. Yes, it does look like that. And we can define these. just select these three, extrude and then fill it off the top. Okay, so there's our cradle, both the upper and the lower part drawn. Obviously when we mirror across, that will then complete that whole sketch there. So I hope you enjoyed watching today's video on how to draw that upper part of the cradle. Please press the like and subscribe button to make sure you're notified every time I upload a new video.